A thin, shy Filipino boy steps onto the brightly lit stage, his slippers slightly dusty and his shirt a little too big for his small frame. Yet beneath the nervous fidgeting of his fingers, he carries a quiet confidence, like someone who has practiced alone for years, waiting for one single moment to be heard. The audience murmurs softly, some glance at one another, unsure what to expect from this timid child who looks as if he has never stood before such a massive crowd. One judge leans forward and whispers, "He looks so nervous, poor kid." Another nods sympathetically. The host approaches him with a warm smile. "Hi there. What's your name, young man?" The boy swallows hard, gripping the microphone with both hands. "I'm Miguel," he says almost in a whisper. "I'm from a small barangay, in Quezon." His voice trembles, but there is a spark of determination behind it. The judges smile, encouraging him. "Welcome, Miguel," one of them says. "What will you be singing for us today?" Miguel takes a deep breath, his eyes flickering briefly toward the audience as if searching for a familiar face that isn't there. "Hotel California," he says finally. His voice strengthens slightly as he adds, "I want to sing it for my father." The room falls instantly silent. It is the kind of silence that holds curiosity and emotion all at once. The kind that says the judges, the audience, even the cameras pointing at him, all feel that something meaningful is about to happen. Miguel closes his eyes for a moment, as if gathering all the memories, all the reasons, all the dreams that carried him to this stage. When he finally opens them, he grips the mic firmly. He is ready, not just to sing, but to speak his heart. The guitar music begins, soft, familiar, instantly creating a ripple of recognition across the room. But the moment the first chord vibrates through the speakers, Miguel shuts his eyes, not out of fear, but out of something deeper, like he is stepping into another world where only he and the song exist. He lifts the microphone slowly, and the very first line slips out of him like a fragile thread of gold. His voice is pure, unexpectedly pure, carrying a softness that feels almost fragile, yet an ache so deep it makes the entire studio freeze mid-breath. It is the kind of voice that carries stories, pain, hope, and childhood dreams all at once. People stop moving. The judges stop blinking. The audience, moments ago whispering and restless, is drawn in as if pulled by an invisible force. His tone deepens as he leans into the next lyrics, giving them a raw, emotional weight that feels far beyond his young age. Every word trembles with sincerity. Every note seems to come straight from a place Miguel has never spoken about but feels in every part of his heart. One judge's eyes widen in disbelief. She reaches up, wiping a tear quickly, not wanting the cameras to catch it. "Oh my God! Listen to him," she whispers, her voice shaking with shock. She had expected a nervous child. Instead, she is witnessing something rare, something pure and unpolished yet astonishingly powerful. In the audience, people lean forward unconsciously, drawn closer as if trying to feel the boy's emotions more clearly. Some clasp their hands, others bite their lips, a few already have tears forming. Miguel, still with eyes closed, doesn't see any of it. He doesn't need to. He is singing not to impress, but to release a truth he has held inside for years. Midway through the song, something changes, something the audience can feel even before they fully understand it. Miguel's voice, once soft and trembling, begins to rise with a surprising strength. It's not louder in a showy way, it's fuller, deeper, carrying an emotion that seems to swell straight from his chest. The simple, stage lights shift, and a spotlight lands directly on his face. Suddenly, his expression is revealed, no longer shy, no longer afraid. His brows tighten, his lips tremble slightly between notes, and his eyes glisten with memories far too heavy for someone his age. He sings each lyric with a deep melancholy, as if every word belongs to him. As if every line in Hotel California reflects a moment of struggle, a sleepless night, a quiet sacrifice. His voice cracks ever so softly, not from nervousness, but from the weight of everything he's felt but never said. The audience feels it instantly. What started as curiosity has turned into silent heartbreak. People shift in their seats, blinking away tears they didn't expect to shed. A mother in the front row grips her chest. A young man wipes his eyes. Even the camera operators, trained to stay professional, slow down their movements, drawn into the emotional gravity Miguel has created. One judge lifts her hand to her mouth, shaken by the rawness of his voice. Tears gather at the corners of her eyes, and she whispers, barely audible, "This kid, he's living the song." She isn't just moved, she is stunned. She sees not just talent, but a life story pouring out in real time. Miguel continues singing as if the world around him has disappeared. In this moment, it is just him, the music, and every emotion he has ever carried. And everyone watching knows they are witnessing something unforgettable. Miguel approaches the final part of the song, and the entire studio leans into the moment with him. Every lyric before this has carried weight, but now it feels as if the whole room is holding its breath, waiting for the last words that will either break them or set them free. The music softens. The lights dim further. Miguel opens his eyes for the first time since he began singing, and they gleam with raw emotion. He steps a little closer to the microphone and sings the final line, voice trembling yet incredibly controlled. "You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave." His voice cracks, not from fear, not from strain, but from a depth of feeling that no one expected from a boy his age. The crack is beautiful, honest, and heartbreaking. It is the kind of sound that tells a story in a single breath. A single tear escapes his eye and rolls slowly down his cheek, catching the light as it falls. He doesn't wipe it away. He lets it fall naturally, as if it is part of the performance, part of the truth he has carried with him. The final note fades into the air, echoing gently across the massive hall. And then, nothing. Absolute silence. No whispers, no movement, not even the sound of someone adjusting in their seat. It feels as though the room itself has forgotten how to breathe. Even the judges, usually quick with reactions, sit frozen, stunned by the purity of the moment. The audience watches him with wide eyes, hearts full, as if afraid that making a sound would shatter the fragile magic he has created. For a breathless few seconds, Miguel stands alone in a silence so powerful it feels sacred. For a long, fragile moment, the studio remains silent. Then, suddenly, almost as if pulled by the same invisible force, the judges rise to their feet at exactly the same time. Their chairs scrape back, echoing across the hall, breaking the silence like a wave crashing onshore. Two of the judges are openly crying. One tries to hide it with a tissue, but it's too late. The cameras have already captured the emotion. The other doesn't even bother wiping his tears. They fall freely as he stares at the young boy who has just shaken the entire room. One judge places a hand over her heart. When she speaks, her voice trembles noticeably. "Miguel, that wasn't a performance. That was a story, and you broke all of us." Her words hang in the air, heavy and honest, and the audience reacts instantly. People begin rising from their seats, row by row, until the entire hall is standing. A wave of applause rolls through the room, loud, thunderous, but filled with emotion. Some clap with their heads bowed. Others cheer loudly through tears, unable to contain the mix of pride and heartbreak they feel. Several audience members wipe their eyes. One woman hugs her friend tightly. Another whispers, "He's just a boy, how can he sing like that?" Cameras zoom in on Miguel as he stands on stage, breathing hard, overwhelmed by the intensity of the moment. He bows slowly, almost shakily, trying to take in the sight of an entire hall cheering for him, for his voice, for his courage, for his story. It is clear he has never experienced anything like this before. When he finally lifts his head again, he smiles. It is small, soft, and full of hope, the smile of a boy realizing that this moment might be the one that changes everything.